Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. It's Patty from pspapercrafts. Happy Friday. Today we're going to make a scrappy card. It's not really a fun fold, but it's a great way to use your scraps. And I don't know if you have scraps left over. This one I had a lot of scraps to use, and then the one we're making today is new paper, so I don't have a lot of scraps, but it's fine. This is a great masculine card, guy card, and I use the woven textured designer series paper. So woven textures. So this is a great kind of just neutral and good for masculine or feminine cards. It could go either way, but I thought it was a good combination of patterns to use. And I used, this is early espresso and then basic beige in between and around the border. I used the banner sayings for the sentiment, happy birthday, and then cue the confetti. It's kind of tiny, but it's fine. And then I added some of these are new, the faux bronze pentagons. These are in the new mini catalog, I believe, or online exclusives. But the banner sayings has a punch that goes with it. So it's great. It's got 3 different kind of banners that fit these sentiments. So this is a good punch to have, especially for small sentiments. So this is today's fun fold or YouTube video, whatever you want to call it. We're going to make a Valentine's Day card today. So we are going to use, this is brand new in the mini catalog that just came out, Made with Love. And it's got some great, just fun hearts and XOs kind of patterns. So lots of reds and pinks. So it's a fun one to have this time of the year to get your cards. I love the diagonal. So we are going to use some of these. Again, they're not scraps, but they'll work. So I have a real red card base, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and I didn't even score it yet. I'm a little behind the times here. So we're going to score that at 4 1/4. And this is our standard A2 size card base. And we'll just fold it and then get our bone folder out and burnish it. So that's step 1. And then you want to, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. On the inside, I'm going to have enough of this left over to put this scrappy look across the bottom on this card. This one I just use the basic. So I'm going big, and then we're going to cut it down. So this is 5.5 by 6. So I figured I would just go right up and down. These I cut to 6, so they're going to be, well, maybe I'm wrong here. So 5.5 by 6. So this is the way I want to do it. So these are just going to fit, but it's okay because we're going to cut off the bottom and the top and all the hangover if there is anything. On this one, I had a piece of basic beige, and then I cut it down. So this, I think I did a 4.5 by 4 by 5 1/4, and then I just cut off all the overhang. We're not going to really have overhang, but if you do a smaller one, these pieces are going to hang over, and you just go in the back and cut it. So let me make it a little bit smaller so you see that or we'll do it this way. We'll do it, no. I don't know what I'm doing here. So this is the 6. So let's make it, we'll make it 5 3/4. I just want you to see all the steps. Okay, so then we're going to I'm going to use this, and then the other side. So that's why I have a bigger piece of this. And we are just going to cut like 2 or 3 of each. And when you start out, I like to start out making an angle. So you're just going to put it in. I don't like to have a straight starting point, so I'm going to start with an angle so that all my pieces are angles. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to put this aside, and then we're going to start. And you're just going to cut up and down, and you just need like 2 or 3. They could be wide, they could be narrow. Each card is going to come out different. So let's do 3 of these. And then you can use these scraps for another card. Okay, and then this one, same thing. I want to start it off at an angle. Get rid of this straight edge one. And then we'll just come in and do angles. There's 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do it this way. Not that we have to turn it over, but just so you get a look. 4. 5. And I'm going to make this one kind of tiny. 6. All right. So then that's on the side. This can go away for now. So we have all our pieces, 3 of each. And what we're going to do is just lay them out. I'm going to start so it's hanging over. I think I'll start with the darker piece. And you just kind of want to lay it out. And I just continue with a pattern. And then you're just going to go on. And actually, I'm going to leave a little bit of white between. So we'll just keep going with this. But I'm going to start putting them down. So you get the idea. And I'll probably fast forward through this. I'll do a couple. And then the other thing I want to do is have my silicone mat, because it's and it's going to be a little bit, I want to make it longer. This piece is kind of big, so I'm going to start off, and then we're going to just keep adding. I think I said I was going to do this, and leaving a little bit of space between. So the silicone mat is good, so any glue that goes over doesn't get stuck on your surface. So we want it to make sure it goes top to bottom, and we're hanging over there a little bit. So then I'm going to leave a little bit of white space. So we've got a little space between each, boy, this is coming out fast, between each one here. So see, we're going to leave a little bit of white. Can you see that? And then we'll just keep going. And I'm going to kind of follow this pattern all the way through. So kind of wide end at the top, narrow end at the bottom, and make sure it's equally spaced as best as you can. And there I go, went a little bit off here. And I would definitely use liquid glue with this, because you're going to be kind of moving it around to get it all in the right place. So see how it's getting the little white area in between. And I am going to cut it down, so if it's a little bit off, that's okay. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to cut this off, so I don't want to squeeze in another one. All right, so this is our card base, or our layer, and we're just going to cut off the back. Now these are going to have glue on the back, so they're going to be a little bit funny, but I like to cut from the back, and I'm going to cut it this way, and then I'm going to cut it down with my trimmer. I just don't want to get glue all over my trimmer. I don't know if you've ever done that, but so I'm going to cut across, and then I'm going to cut across again. See, I have glue exposed there. And these are scissors that I kind of use for sticky cutting. These are the old scissors that we used to have when we, way back in the 90s, when the rubber stamps didn't get cut apart. You had to cut them yourself, which was terrible. I always wanted my demonstrator to cut them for me, but she didn't. They were kind of a pain. And that was before dimensionals. We used to save the rubber and use that to kind of push up our images to kind of use as dimensionals. So then I'm going to just cut down here. It's very sticky. And, you know, again, I would use liquid glue on this because I think that you might have to manipulate it a little bit, and the liquid glue gives you that couple of seconds to move around. Can't wait to see the other side. Okay, isn't that pretty? Oops. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this mess here. I've got glue all over my fingers, as per the usual. So I know I said this is kind of funny, but we are going to cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. So this is going to be the 5 side. So we're going to cut it. I'm going to cut that part off. So 5. And I still think I got glue. So I'm going to just cut this down a little bit. I want to cut it on both ends because it's not clean. So we are going to cut it by 3 3/4. So then I have one of these pieces. I'm going to cut it down to 3/4 for the bottom, the inside. I hope this makes sense to you. So you've got a couple of extra strips. So I kind of went overboard, but I wanted to get this strip for the inside. Hopefully this all makes sense. So this is going to be our card. It can go this way or this way. I think I like it this way. So this is 5 by 3 3/4, and then we have our layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then we can put this on. So see that? In the end, it looks pretty, right? And then this is going to go on the inside, but I think we have to cut this down. So let me cut this down. This is a 5 by 4, 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to make it 5 by 3 3/4. So it kind of matches the outside. All right, and then this will fit nicely on here. Okay, I think we got it together here. So I oversized this so I could end up cutting it clean and then having a piece to go on the inside that kind of matches. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. I did not do that here. I made it smaller. There was lots hanging over. And then I just used a piece of the, you know, the designer series paper in there. So let's put this together and then we're going to decorate it. This time I am going to use my Seal Plus. And I hope the sun isn't bothering everybody. Let me just turn my blinds. Depending on what time of day I have the blinds open or not. So now it seems dark, but it might be good for you guys. All right, so I'm going to put it down this way. And I just think this is really a fun, easy card, and a great way to use scraps if you have a lot of scraps. It's called a Scrappy Card. And I think these were like real popular a year or two ago. Everybody was making them. All right, then this is our inside. So on the outside, I decided I would use the stamp set that comes it's part of the Sweet collection. It's called Endless Love, and there are dies. So I already die cut my heart. So I use this die, and I die cut this heart from Basic White. And I thought I would stamp the XO. Nothing else really fits in here. I could do Hugs and Kisses and break it up, but I think I'll do the big XO. I'm going to do that in red ink, real red. Oh, that's pretty sticky. I think I need to ink up my real red. That's something I have to do. New year, re-ink the ink pads. So we want to make the X first, right? XO. And then let's close this up. I thought we would put it on here with a ribbon. So this is Bubble Bath, and that's in this paper, and this is a faux linen. It's very thin. So I thought I could feed it through, but I think I'm just going to tie a bow. I'm all thumbs today. Okay, that's better. All right, let's get our ribbon scissors out. I've got scissors for all different things, but definitely the ribbon scissors that can never be used for anything else. Don't be touching my ribbon scissors, because I think they get ruined if you use them on other things. And they cut so nicely when they're used for what they're meant to cut. I thought we would put this on. I don't know, what do you think, XO? I guess it's good. I feel like it needs a sentiment, but I think this is good enough. All right, so let's put this down with dimensionals. Keep getting to the bottom of my dimensionals. I'm going to cut these up. Then we can add some of the loose hearts. I don't know what they're called. I'll pull them out and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's some really cute little things that you can use for shaker cards. I'm wondering if we should put it like this. I think like this. And let's get a glue dot. Did I get it? I didn't get it. Put this on here. Okay, and let's do the inside now. I thought on the inside we would do Hugs and Kisses. So I'm going to just lay this here. I'm not going to put it down. I like to kind of see where I want to put my sentiment. So I lay this down. I don't like to stick it just in case my sentiment doesn't stamp well. Hugs and Kisses. Should we put some hearts up here? No, I think this is good enough. All right, so let's put this down with some Stampin' Seal Plus. Beautiful. And then we'll put this on the inside of the card, and then we can add some of these hearts. So this is going to have a wider border because I cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5, but I think it looks nice. So it kind of matches the front. It just continues on from what's in the front. So then there's these loose Valentine assortment And there's a ton of these in here. I'm just going to pour out a few. Get my take your pick tool. So there's the putty end, and then there's this end. And what I'm going to do is just kind of lay them out. What are these little things? There's these hearts. Seems like there's a side to them, a right side and a wrong side. So this is my idea, was to, I'd like a red one. Is there a red? I guess there's no red. I guess it's these, there's little red lips. I'm going to do another pink one. Maybe I'll do all pink. No, I think I'll do all the darker color. Bear with me. I'm playing here. I think the darker color is nicer. I don't know what color that is. If it's like a flirty flamingo. And we'll do another one. All right. How's that look? I'm going to put these back before I dump them over. So I'm just going to get a little tiny bit of glue. Pick this up. Put a little glue dot down. Put it down. And repeat. Little tiny glue dot. All right, so these are Scrappy Cards, and if you're interested in checking out the new catalog, if you didn't get one, you can email me and I will send you one, or you can go on my blog and there's a link to the new catalog, and there's new online exclusives as well. So this is XO, Hugs and Kisses. And then this is the masculine one, Happy Birthday. Cue the confetti. All right, so thanks a lot. Let's see what we have on the agenda for next week. So this is my January inspiration calendar. If you're interested in getting this, you can subscribe to my email list. There's a link below. There's a link below also for instructions for the cards. Next week, we're going to make a crayon resist technique. So that should be interesting. So come on back next week and you can learn how to do that if you're not familiar. All right, thanks so much and have a great week.